to House of Tay. Today we have a special guest, Bros. Hi, Bros.
Hi, thank you, Jane.
So, little intro about yourself.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
So I'm Rose. I am with Fatally Honest, and I'm from Singapore.
So today we're gonna talk about Asian foods.
That my parents are expecting me to do, like, this path is gonna be like, okay, I work, and then I probably will get married, and after marriage, I have to wait for a few years to get a HDB flat, which is what most Singaporeans live in, have kids, and then work, all those things. But what I wanted was to be able to date, like, openly. Yes.
So you cannot choose someone outside your religion.
Yes, and if you did choose someone outside of religion,
They have to convert.
yes, they have to convert. So for me, like, I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, for me, whether or not my values are conflicting with this religion, because I had an inkling that it did. So I went to do more research on the religion, the history. It just did not
Fit with you.
Yeah, it did not fit me at all. So I thought, oh shit, like, I can't lie to myself. I mean, I can do that. I can live a double life, like being this person for my family and then after that being someone else outside of that. But it just was very difficult. Like, you can't be yourself in front of the people you love. So you were
depressed?
Yeah, I was really depressed. Like, every day when going to work, I would like cry on the public transportation. I was just like silently crying. It's really horrible. Even now, I'm like,
it was a really difficult time for you.
I was really struggling with like self-identity.
Identity.
Yeah, it was really difficult because like I know if I'm gonna choose myself, I'm gonna hurt the people closest to me.
Yeah,
and
family.
Yeah, and I hated that. Like, my family means a lot to me. I would probably hate myself 30 years in the future if I had chosen the path that my family wanted me to choose. But I think choosing myself was much more important than, wanting to live a life for someone else.
You wanted to be genuinely yourself.
I wanted my family to accept me for who I am. That did not happen. I spoke to my parents and my sister. My brother was out at the time. So it was after evening prayers that they were doing. I actually made a PowerPoint presentation to like tell them like, okay, these are the reasons why I'm leaving this religion, why I don't believe in it anymore. And it was very, very sad situation because, I'm breaking their hearts. We all cried because it was really sad for me to see them cry. So like, for me, I was really upset that day. So 1 or 2 days, like, they didn't speak to me. Like,
you were still at home.
Yeah. So they didn't kick me out, thank God. Living this like ghost life at home. So I felt really unwanted, really. So in my very young brain, I have learned this lesson that home is not safe.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate,
It's unfortunate.
Yes.
It happens to me too. So we are
in the same boat.
Well, maybe
you're going to get out of the boat. I already left the boat. You must come with me. So in Singapore, the culture of family is very important. Like, it's very family oriented. Yeah, it's like the center.
Yeah, family.
Center of like almost everything
in your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In Singapore, that's the way. Filial piety is very strong in Singapore to a point that there's actually a law in Singapore. I think it was passed in the 1950s or 60s. I do not remember properly. Parents Maintenance Act, which essentially means that any Singaporean resident who is above the age of 60 to apply to the government to force their children to give money to the parents for maintenance for their lives. Yes.
So parents, when they are over 60, they can make their kids to pay them.
Yes.
For their maintenance.
Yes, and this law has been abused before.
Oh, I think I heard the news that there was a woman whose parents left her, and then she was forced because they are biological parents.
Yes. So for I think it was on Reddit that I read this spread too. So this law has been abused by parents who are, for example, who have neglected their kids, who have abused their children when the children were younger, or even maybe left their kids. And now they're 60 or like 65 years old, they have no money, maybe they spent it all. And now they're coming back to the government saying, hey, my kid has to pay for my living expenses now because I'm their parent. I think it's insane. For me, looking back, when I was around 16, I was still in school. But my mom would also talk about like, oh, when you start working, you can finally give me some money.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure. At the time I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, you took care of me. Now I can take care of you.
They feel entitled.
Yes,
to the
entitled.
money.
Yes,
Yeah.
entitled.
To the money of the kids.
Yes.
The kids have to serve them. Not just financial, but almost everything.
Everything. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So like, oh, you have to buy me a car, you have to buy me a house.
It's the same in Thailand too,
Oh my gosh, yes. So it's so this Asian culture of like filial piety, and
then children have to serve their parents
yes.
no matter what.
Yes, so this happens even in such a developed country like
Yeah.
Singapore. So it doesn't matter how developed the country is, if the culture is already entrenched in for example the law as well.
But in Thailand, there's no such law as kids having to pay parents, but it's a common, if you don't do it, you're ungrateful.
Oh.
They will call you ungrateful.
Yeah.
And you will get shamed, you get stigma,
yes.
you get backlash from everyone.
You're like, oh, you're a bad kid because you
you're
didn't
a
care.
bad kid.
Yeah.
You don't serve your parents.
Yeah. If your parents are good to you, then
Yeah,
of course,
I know.
like
I feel like if they do good to you, you
Yeah.
return the good back.
Yes.
But what if they do the
What if
bad
they're horrible?
things to you?
Yes,
The
what if-
horrible things to you. They abuse you. They hit you. They verbally
abuse you,
degrade you.
Yeah.
It's a new age now that things have to adapt, and I feel that there are a lot of concepts in the Asian culture that need to be changed or adapted that fit people today.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that like, for example, there's a lot of stereotypes of Asian parents being like tiger moms, you know, like wanting them to be doctors, lawyers,
engineers.
Yes, engineers.
I did engineering, but I didn't like
you like it,
you
yeah.
know,
You're like, nope.
I didn't want to be engineer.
You wanted to be fashion.
But I need to work in finance.
Yeah.
Or just to do things for my family.
Yes.
And it broke me. I went crazy.
I think stem from generally parents wanting the best for their kids.
Yeah.
But it's not them listening to children.
Best in the perspective of the parents, but in the eyes of the kids, it's not what they want.
For example, when they want to talk to their children, if they are angry at their kids, they don't show it constructively.
Yeah.
Instead, they like
emotionally immature.
Yes. So, for example, maybe the parents have baggage from their own previous.
They pass it on. To
yes.
kids,
Then they pass it on to the kids by like hitting them.
That's why we need to break the ancestral chain.
Exactly.
This is the chain that chain people and chain the new generation.
And then chain everyone. Yes. So
everyone has to break free, and you broke free. We actually have this channel to be a safe space for people to have open discussions and talk about things that might be considered taboo or not openly talk about. What do you think should be changed for the Asian culture?
I think that a lot of Asian people need to start to be more open about what's happening in their life. Like for example, maybe they have some troubles at home.
Identity is a big problem for Asian kids,
Yeah, I think so.
They're
especially
suppressed by their parents and the culture. They cannot express their true selves.
I think the 6-7 years before when I was in Thailand, the kids nowadays, they wear uniforms and they have piercings. Even the boys.
Yeah.
Like
and
this was
have the hair,
yes. So this is different for me.
Yeah.
From an outsider, I'm seeing this change. It's really different. And for me, I felt like, this is actually a good thing.
It's going in a good direction.
Yeah, because they are actually able to express themselves more. For example, areas where children could hang out, like people are doing that more. At Union Mall in Lat Pral, I always see a lot of like students doing their dancing classes there. Like even just groups just doing their dances and stuff like this. So for them, it's like a form of expression. So I think it's improving here.
So in Thailand, it's getting better. You've treated.
Yeah, in Singapore, queer kids, right, and also teenagers and adults, I think it's a lot more accepted now in Singapore rather than back when I was a kid. Yeah. So right now I see, for example, there's also this pink dot that's happening. A lot of LGBTQ plus awareness, stuff like this. And there's also, for example, on social media, there are stuff that talks about, for example, sex workers' lives and how they can stay safe in Singapore, stuff like this. Community spaces where people can actually gather and experience
open.
life. Yeah, a lot more open.
Thank you today for being courageous soul, fighting for yourself. I wish you the best, and we see each other again. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Tay Tay. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment on Taylor Srirat.